Welcome back, Fat Boys. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be talking about, in part 1, about how to learn to ride a motorcycle. So let's go on and get to it. So for part 1, right now we're going to be talking about how to even approach a motorcycle, how to even get on the motorcycle for some people that may not even know. You're going to want to come on over to the left hand side of the motorcycle. Why? That's because that's where the kickstand is. Where the kickstand is, it leans the motorcycle over more, and so that's the low side. It makes it a little bit easier to swing your leg over and go ahead and get on, like so. Easier to get on, swing your leg, and voila, you're on. Next thing you're going to want to do is kick in that kickstand, bring it up, and look at that. You're already sitting on the motorcycle, free. It's under your own leg power. You're balancing it. Nothing else is holding it up. The next thing you're going to want to do is just to be able to feel it roll. You're going to want to make sure that the bike is in neutral first. If it's not, we're going to get to that eventually, and you'll find out how to change that. But once it's in neutral, you just want to get used to the motorcycle. So you're going to have both your hands on the handlebars, you're holding it, and you're just going to roll the bike. Go from heel to toe. Heel to toe. Just slowly do that a little bit. Next thing you're going to want to do is figure out where all of your buttons are. Just get a general understanding of what everything does. For me, I have a keyless bike, so I have my fob inside my jacket. So all I have to do is turning it on, and then I have my ignition button. That's also then right above that I have my kill switch. That turns it off and cuts the engine. So my on switch turns on all of my electronics. My starter button, we'll do that soon. I have my hazards on. You can see that going right now just like that. Hit it again, turn it off. And on Harleys you have the right blinker. Hit that again to cancel right now. And then over here you'd have the left blinker. Hit that to cancel. You have a menus option to flip through your menu. You have your horn, then you have your high beams, and then your flashers. Once you go ahead and know where all of your buttons are and what everything does, go ahead and hit that ignition button, making sure you are in neutral. You will not be able to start the bike if you're in first gear and you hit the starter button. So make sure you are in neutral, and then you hit that starter button. And now let's go ahead and roll the bike again. Just roll it a little bit more. Now for the next part, let's go ahead and shut that off. And for the next part, we're going to learn what the hand controls and the foot controls do of the bike. So on the right hand side, we got the front brake. That holds the brakes up in the front of the bike. It stops the front wheel from spinning. And on the right foot, you have the rear brake. Why, you may be asking, why they are separated? It's because it allows you to have more control in certain situations. The front brake on most bikes, if not all bikes, it allows you to stop more aggressively in corners, while the rear brake allows you for more finesse and smaller adjustments during slow maneuvers and other situations, to where using the front brake is actually going to cause more harm. And so now on the left side, you have the clutch. This allows the transmission to move through the gears. You pull this in order to allow it to move through the gears. And then you have to slowly let it out, and then by going into your next gear. How do you change the gears? You go down here to the shifter peg. When you pull in the clutch, you're then able to push or pull, depending on which direction you're wanting to go. So the old saying goes, 1 down, 5 up. That means when you are in neutral, you have 1 down. That puts you down into first gear. And generally, most bikes will have 6 gears. That means you only have to go up 5 times to get to the 6th gear. Each gear allowing you to move progressively faster and faster while keeping your RPMs lower, just how it would in a car. So let's go ahead and fire this up to see this. It's always good when firing up your motorcycle just to pull in the clutch, just to make sure that nothing is going to happen, just in case. Nothing should happen, but it's always that 1% or that 0.1% of something that may happen that you just don't want to be a part of. Pull in the clutch, both feet on the ground, push the ignition. There you go, and it's starting. Now if I let out the clutch, I'm not moving because I'm in neutral. The transmission is not connected, is not moving the wheels right now because it is in neutral. But if I pull in that clutch and then I push down the shifter peg, I am now in first gear. So now if I just slowly let out that clutch, I start to move forward. On a motorcycle, you have something called the friction zone with a clutch. This is very important. This is what allows the gears to start to connect. Learning the friction zone is going to be one of the hardest things to learn how to do. Every friction zone is a little bit different on every bike, so get to learn it on your bike. So, putting it in first gear, slowly letting out the clutch, moving forward. I pull in the clutch, there's no power to the rear wheel. Pull in that front brake a little bit, let's come to a stop. Now let's do that again. Do the same thing. I slowly let out the clutch, there's the friction zone, moving forward, pull it in, and then slowly pull that brake. Starting to move on a motorcycle. It's not that hard. So that's it for part 1 of this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the channel and make sure you hit that bell notification. Go ahead and write down any comments for any questions you have so far, and the next video you see will be part 2.